What about this statement? You can't trust the Gospels because they're written by Christians. After all, why should I trust this version of the truth, of the history rather, when it's written by people who have a horse in the race? I can't trust the Gospels. It's written by Christians. That's such a stupid claim. I just want to think through it with you for a bit. I've worked a lot of robberies. We work a detail called robbery homicide. So we're not working homicides. What are we working? Robberies. Bank robberies, I used to work a lot when I first got started before 9/11 because they were federally insured, so we had a lot of FBI involvement. Now all that's gone. FBI doesn't work bank robberies where I am anymore. This gentleman walked in to do this bank robbery. He's already shown the demand note. He's already collecting the money from the teller as part of the bank robbery. And sure enough, when he first walked in and stood in line, I'll identify which one of these folks I'm talking about. This is the bank robber. But when I first walked in, this lady sitting behind the counter recognized him because she went to high school with him. And she right away said, oh, I'm going to say hi to this guy because I know him from high school. But he waited in line and he couldn't get to the counter. And she couldn't get free from her desk in time to say hello. She figured she'll say hello afterwards. But as she's sitting at her desk, she looks up and sees the expression on her coworker. And she recognizes right away, that's an expression of somebody getting robbed. And she couldn't believe it because she went to high school with this guy. I always like to tell you that she was definitely shocked. And I know she was shocked because I've got it on this slide. So she was shocked because she actually went to school with this guy in high school. And there he is, Robert Smith. Now, if I was to be investigating this crime, I was to go back and ask for an accurate history of what happened in that bank, do you think I could trust her? I don't think so. I mean, think about it. She already is convinced that Robert Smith is a bank robber. You might say that she's a Robert Smithian. You can't trust Robert Smithians to talk to you about Robert Smith. I got to find somebody who's not a Robert Smithian to tell me the truth about what really happened there, don't you think? No. Because she wasn't convinced that Robert Smith was a bank robber before he walked in. She wasn't convinced when he was standing in line. She became convinced on the basis of what he did in front of her. She's not biased. She's come to a proper conclusion based on what she saw. You can trust her testimony. You wouldn't throw it out in advance. I think if you can trust her, you can trust the gospel writers and not disqualify them in advance because they're Christians now. Do you think Matthew started off as a Christian? Do you think Matthew was convinced Jesus was a Christian when he first tapped him on the shoulder and said, hey, dude, stop collecting those taxes. Let's go do some business. No, he became convinced as a result of what he saw. That's very different.